Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is the WS World Sim Series, WSS 6 Hours of Seabring. This will be my highlights of it. I'm going to let the video roll here while we talk about some updates. It's been a while since I've been on this channel in any kind of edited anything. 3 years ago, I did the 6 Hours of Le Mans with Phoenix Racing Club, and I decided to take on another 6 hour race solo because I hate myself. So yeah, the safety car's gone off. We've a formation lap here, so I'm gonna jab around a bit. You can fast forward if you like. That's your call. Um, yeah, the channel's been inactive for a while. I haven't really been doing much sim racing. I've been getting back into it. It's my first big thing in forever. Um, so yeah, welcome back to the channel. So this is the 6 hours of Seabring. The event structure is as follows. 6 hour race with a 40-minute qualifying session before. It was split 20 minutes GT3, 20 minutes DPI. Fuel use 100%, tire wear is 200%, damage 100%, real world time and weather. So this was a 5 a.m. local time start for the race, roughly. So it means about the first stint and a bit was in the dark. With 2 mandatory 3-minute pit stops. And everything else is as you'd expect. It was a rolling start with a live safety car, so that's what you saw take off there. We had a total of, I think, 12 DPI cars. Give me 2 seconds here. 12 DPI cars, 22 GT3s, and I qualified stone last. I had a lap good enough for 19th, but I went off track. So that's the situation. Testing our flashing lights. I had the McLaren behind me who decided that I believe, according to Discord afterwards, this little safety car light at the bottom left over the real time was not displaying on his, so he decided to start from the pits and form at the back of the field. Of course, I did not know this at the time, but hey, this is where we are. Yeah, so I'm going to fast forward the rest of this formation app because I thought I'd ramble for a lot longer. Lucky you, I am not. So I'm going to fast forward to the start of the race, and I'll see you there. So, green flag and away we go. The start of the GT3 pack had to maintain 10-second gap under the safety car to the back of the DPIs, so that in case the DPIs screw around, there's a chance that the GT3s don't collect them as well. So we do okay off the start. We had nothing notable off the last turn. But into turn 1, we're fairly conservative. We take a nice wide line, steer clear of everyone going on. And I'm not sure if you can see it yet, but there are lights facing the wrong way. We collect a bit of grass, and we get as lucky as it is possible to get, slipping through all that. 2 DPIs had contact in the field ahead of us, and they had not collected themselves, as I try and collect myself. And so a couple of the GTIs got caught up in it, but we're up a few places. So that's the first lap. Now also I had done no nighttime practice. So the 20 minutes qualifying is all I had, and I had forgotten to reset my brake balance from the formation lap, trying to get some temperature to the front tires. So correcting that now. Yeah, so that was the start of the race. Our pace over the next few laps is pretty poor. The leaders in GT3 were turning about a 2:01. I was easily in the 2:07s, if not worse. So for the first while, this is all we have. I believe the car behind gets passed quickly enough, and then we just settle into a groove of being slow. I think before the first pit stop, I dropped more than a pit stop behind. Uh, Pit stop loss was between 40 and 45 seconds or thereabouts for GT3. And no tire blankets, so the tire warm up coming out of the pits was pretty brutal. You had to be pretty easy on it. You lose a couple seconds on the road. Our strategy for the race was to go as long as we could on the medium tires. I had gotten the tire wear down so we could do maybe 32 laps, which was well past the hour mark. If I was good, it was about an hour 10. So yeah, it was optimistic that I could get a short late stint. The problem with strategy in this version of the game is that, for set of course at least, is that the tires always take the longest, and if you run out of tires, you just need new tires. You may as well top up the fuel. It was a bit messy. Yeah, forgot about that one. Yeah, we gained another places through chaos. If you've ever watched from my old races, I was usually the chaos, but that practice had held up well because there were other people causing chaos too, and you learn to avoid it. So, yeah, yeah, this is the start. So I'll give you a bit of time lapse for the first stint as we watch the sunrise. So this is the end of our first stint. As you see, we've run out of tires before we run out of fuel, and even then we get the fuel a couple of years high, just in case cooler conditions of the early morning let us run a bit longer. But it did not. Exasperated Andy. Correct. So, first stint wasn't too bad. A couple of mistakes in the night, including getting rear-ended by a DPI, which not necessarily their fault because I did clip the curb and had to get off the throttle. But what can you do? 2 unforced errors, I think, as well, if the editing is correct. Yeah, so that's our first pit stop. The pit stops, if you don't take a long stop, are pretty quick, so you don't have a lot of time to reset and go again. We felt good on the medium, so we're going mediums again. We probably should have adjusted tire pressures, but that ain't happening. And we actually had more damage repair time than we had tire change time, so that wasn't ideal. But half it wasn't our fault, particularly, except for getting all up on the curb. Some of it was definitely our fault. So yeah, yeah. On the second stint, it's getting pretty much daytime now. We can start to see our lines better and all our reference marks that I neglected to remember that it was a night start. But hey, welcome to endurance racing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly what I did for the first stint. I'm going to do time lapse, and anything notable we'll slow down again, watch together, and we'll move on again. On with the stint. All I needed. Alright, we boxed for the second time. This will be a long pit, so it's a 3 minute pit. I will not keep you here the whole time. But yeah, that stint was fun. uh, Another exasperation and drink, and I'll have to mute my own audio. God damn. Anyway, so yeah, we had Velociraptor taking themselves out behind us, us calling them stupid, and then immediately rear-ended a DPI. But that's life. I am stupid. Um, we then had a fight with an Aston. I not sure if I squeezed him too much into turn one. I'll have to ponder that myself. But yeah, definitely squeezed him a bit into turn one. Whether I gave him a car's width or not, I don't know. Didn't protest it. I don't think a penalty came out of it, so it's what it is, I guess. And then only a lap or two later, I go off track and give him the place anyway. So I don't think I could have held him for long, but you know, 6 hour race. I'll take the few fights I get. So I will zoom on through the rest of this 1 minute 40 seconds left of pit stop, and we'll get back to zooming around the track in super speed. No shit. Alright, we dodge DPI and we make the box again. This is a third stop of 5, so I should have... This will be a short stop. I have 1 long stop and 1 short stop left.
Oh, shit.
Race is starting to take its toll. I have, in theory, 2 full stints and a short stint left. I have to eat that water bottle. So, yeah, that's in theory what I have left. That stint was the first stint where I was starting to get on pace. I was starting to get 2:04s. My, in theory, best pace is a little bit quicker than that, but that's, not during a 6-hour race. So I was getting happy with 2:04s, low 2:04s even. I can't remember what the delta was, but yeah, it was starting to feel good. I only had, it was 2-3 off tracks in that, and it was, there were silly mistakes, but one was towards the end of the tyre stint, which is where you're obviously going to make more mistakes. And it was another stint well past the hour mark, so we're well over halfway at this point, and taking the laps down. I think in total it was to be 170 laps-ish for GT3, but I could be wrong, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, those cold tyres are a pain. You have to tiptoe your way out of the pits until about halfway around the lap you start to get enough pressure that you can feel grip. In the meantime, you're just trying to survive. But it's the same story for everyone. So I will get back to the Zoom Zoom. So here was the great flaw in my strategy plan, is that by running mediums and trying to run just over the hour mark, I will always, always, always be on the absolute limit of tyre wear coming into the stint, and I nearly lose it again. It was always going to be a risk that I could lose it. I think in the previous 2 stints, I definitely waited a lap too long to pit, and I was starting to lose time. And this is definitely a great loss of time. Aside from that spin at the end, this was easily my best stint. I was down in the low 204s, high 203s. Lap times are good. I definitely put wheels in grass and gravel for sure, or dirt, but no big time losses except for that last lap, which was unfortunate. So in theory, this is my long stop. Then I have 1 full stint and a short stint to go. So I will zoom through the rest of this 2 minutes 20 of stop, and we'll see you at the next pit stop. God fucking damn it. So we pit early for the obvious reason that I am carrying a lot of damage. That wall bonk, I think I did it earlier in the race as well, where I just kicked the ball, but I only got like light orange damage or something. It wasn't much, but this was genuinely costing me, I think, a second to a second and a half a lap. You can really feel it in the high speeds. So I carried the car till about the hour mark, where I know I can make a stint to the end, and yeah, take the fuel I need. I think I overfilled by 6 liters or something, 4 liters, I can't remember. Enough liters to definitely make the end. And yeah, goal is to make it to the end now and just survive. I adjust the pit strategy just in case I need damage repairs, but that's now not the goal. So yeah, this should be the last stint, and just make it to the end now. So as we come to the line, this is for 16th in class and 25th overall. 16th in class was great considering we qualified 20 seconds. That was a 6th place gain in class over 6 hours. It was higher than our qualifying position theoretical could have been. So pretty happy. Pretty happy overall. Obviously we had our mistakes, but who doesn't have mistakes in a 6-hour race except for the very top guys, and I am not one of those guys, not a chance. No way. Well, yeah, compared to my 6 hours of Le Mans, which will be in the card up in the top right, if you dare to watch it. Our mistakes were, yeah, I think overall lower on a more difficult track to be consistent on for 6 hours. So yeah, soloing wasn't easy, but never. I mean, I chose to do this, so what can you do? But yeah, no, we did good gaining places over the whole race. That last bit was interesting. I wasn't entirely sure to actually make it on tyres because the temperature's risen through the race, and I was noticing the stints were getting shorter on the tyres. So there was maybe a 20-30 but yeah, 30 minutes in that stint where I was backing off, especially on the traction zones and corners. I was just taking it easier, 90% throttle, not full whack out, which meant my lap times jumped up to about a 106, 107 or so. But if you're looking at the live timing in the top right, I was a 70 to 80 second gap ahead and a 30-second gap behind. I could afford to do this. And once that gap behind came down to about 10 seconds, where realistically if I made a decent mistake, they'd overtake me, then I put the lap times back in again to maintain that gap. I think I got it back up to 12, 14 seconds or something. So wasn't risking too much, but also keep the mistakes down. Keep the traction zones easy to keep those rear tires alive, because my god, do they want to go off. And yeah, we held our place. There was no point in pushing like crazy. I think the gap ahead did actually come down to about 60 seconds, so if you take a last 20 seconds behind, then I was still only maybe 30 seconds behind the guy ahead at the end, and assuming he didn't push on as well. So I didn't see the point in trying to push too hard to try and catch up, because it just wasn't going to happen. And I completely bugger off traction control to do some donuts. Yeah, there we go. We got our celebration donuts. And torch whatever life is left in those rear tires. But yeah, no, this was a great experience, and we'll probably do it again sometime. As for a more general channel update, I plan to do more stuff. This channel may become semi-active again. My hope is to do more live streaming. I'm racing semi-regularly on WSS, a little bit on LFM. So I do plan to do a bit more stuff on the channel. So I'm gonna probably not stream on Twitch. I'll probably stream on YouTube. If my internet allows, we'll do some test streams soon and see how it works. But until that, thank you for anyone who made it to this end of the video. I do appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch my content, however bad it might be, and taking part in this journey. Yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and more content soon, I do hope. Goodbye.